He swung his lantern 3 times, and slowly a schooner appeared. "Come along, Natalie," Captain Torrey said, pulling his daughter along as they ran to the docks. "We don't want to miss our ship." "Dad, I'm supposed to be Nat. You always forget. If everyone knew that I was a girl, ugh, we'd be thrown off in 2 shakes of a waylord's tail." "Sorry, sweetheart. Now let's hurry." Meanwhile, board the schooner. "Hey, Dustin, did you lower the sails? If you didn't, I know, we'll get caught and never hear the end of it, especially from the reporters. Oh, and the answer to your question is yes. Chris, remind me again about why we're taking this ship." "Because if Reality Y uses this thing to transport those camera crews to Island Paradise, we'll never, ever have a minute to ourselves again." "Oh, right. Anyways, are we ready to leave?" Not exactly," Chris said, looking around for the engine key. "Chris, you did not, did you?" "Well, alright, I did, but only because there was a girl, and apparently her father and her are in danger of being thrown off of this asteroid." "Chris, what are you... never mind. So, where exactly are we meeting them?" Starboard, 2 points off." Meanwhile, back on the dock, "Daddy, when are they gonna get here?" "Whenever they can." Behind them, footsteps slowly pounded against the wood, threatening to break it with its tremoring sounds of fear. Captain Torrey turned around as he felt the protective shadows slowly turning to light. But he didn't want Nat to catch on, so he turned around and said, "Come on, Nat. Let's play hide and seek." We hide, and the guard tries to find us," Captain Torrey said, trying to be brave. Meanwhile, on board, I ran back to the helm after finding the gangplank. I maneuvered the ship closer to the docks and hollered, "All aboard who's coming aboard," as Finn lowered it onto the docks. I didn't hear anyone, though. That's odd. "Finn, there's something wrong. I'm going ashore to find them." Finn began to follow me as I descended to the ground. Finn, stay put. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, take off. I'll meet you at the drop-off point." The drop-off point was a place in deep space where there was no one around and no one would ever find this schooner. That's where we were going to hide it until it eventually decayed. No one would know what had happened. At least, that's what I hoped. So, as Finn went back, I began to scan for Captain Torrey and his daughter. That's funny, I thought aloud. Where are they? Now I know they gave the signal. Oh, nuts. Maybe it was intercept. All of a sudden, I was grabbed from behind. Oh, nuts. An ambush, I thought. But thankfully, I spotted 2 2 bags drifting into sea. Mmm! Quiet, girl, a deep voice sounded. I spotted a hand coming towards me, aimed straight at my neck, when I realized what was in it. I lost complete control and screamed, shaking him off, of course, and probably the half of the dock, but not before his hand hit his mark. However, I calmed myself down immediately after that. I pulled the object from my neck, tossing it straight into the sea, never, ever wanting to see it again. I turned back to the bags and dove into the sea, my tail already forming. I burst up into the air with a bag in each hand and quickly flew back to the ship. The sleeping potion was already taking its effect, though, blurring my vision. However, there were more important matters at hand, so I called out, "You guys okay in there?" I heard muffled sounds coming from them, so they were at least alive, thankfully. I landed gently on the captain's deck, and I cried, "Heave to! We're leaving!" Finn rushed up. Then, seeing I was okay, he playfully saluted and ran to heave the gangplank. While he did that, I helped Captain Tori out of his containing bag. Then, Captain Tori helped Nat out of hers. While Captain Tori did help Nat, I had to go inside and find a towel, because, well, I was soaking wet. But then, as I walked away, Nat cried out to me, "Thanks, but where are you taking us?" I turned, looked up at the sky, and calmly said, "Home." As I descended below decks, I could feel the ship blast off on its final and first journey, the adventure that was yet to come, and I was waiting it with opened arms. The end.